Hey there, it's Dr. Donahue. How are you? I'm not sure that emails went out today for my live, but I wanted to step in and continue our conversation that we had yesterday. I had an amazing summit, a Vision for Health summit, and I wanted to step in and support those of you that are really on this journey to becoming the healthiest version of yourself. And you're like, well, Dr. Donahue, what does that actually mean? What that actually means to me is my definition is that you're able to get up every day, um, step out of bed. If you're having a hard morning, change your energy inside your body, get excited, and really move through the day and not have pains, not have headaches, migraines, not have symptoms that are stopping you to actually live the life that you truly create. And so many practitioners and individuals like myself are on a journey to actually support you. Yesterday, I was super blessed to have six amazing speakers step in and really talk to you about different ways to create whole health. Why do I do that the second week in January? I mean in February. Well, what happens is through December into January, you have created this goal, right? In America, we're taught like create this goal, create this resolution. And then if you don't hit it, like it's okay. And you start to kind of fail on yourself. And in this instance, I'm talking about health. And yes, you start to fail on yourself. If you're not hitting the results that you 100% desire, then there's consequences. You may be in the drift. Like Aaron and Sarit talked about being in the drift and not showing up for yourself. So many individuals think like, oh, well, I can just take a medicine and I'll feel better, which in some cases, like it is indicated. But other times it's like really getting up and not living an unconscious life, really being conscious of where you're going. I was listening to a podcast this morning that I want to share with you, and an individual had lost, I believe, 30 or 40 pounds and was feeling great. It's not about the weight loss, but he had made this commitment. And he was walking down the streets of Boston and he saw this family eating like ice cream, like this amazing ice cream. It was in the summer, and so he got all the energy, and subconsciously he walked into the ice cream place and he ordered the same sort of ice cream. Asked the attendant what the family was eating. So he went outside and was thinking he would have the same elation, the same happiness, and he ate this ice cream and he felt great. He probably got a dopamine hit, a serotonin hit. And he was like, oh, these endorphins, like I'm feeling really good, right? He leaves the ice cream shop. He's walking down the street. He had this incredible high. An hour later, he got really sick, really sick. Because the truth is he had really decreased his sugar and dairy for a long period of time. And now the body was not familiar with this high level of sugar that this ice cream sort of sundae or parfait provided for him. So this is why I wanted to show up today. Like, what are you doing unconsciously and not even realizing it? Are you sitting down to your meals or walking into a restaurant and just ordering from cravings? Are you planning what your nutrition looks like? Do you have a plan on your calendar? We talked about this yesterday to create movement. Many of us don't really work out more than an hour and a half a day, and that's usually split, right? And like today is Valentine's Day. What is going to be around all of most everybody in this world? It's going to be hearts. It's going to be expensive roses. It's going to be chocolates. It's going to be I love yous. Why can't we love everybody in our life every single day and show up in relationship not only for ourselves, but for those that we're connected to? Why does it have to be a Hallmark holiday? Because the truth is the more that we show up for love in our heart and we start to stop no we stop living our life subconsciously, unconsciously. Oh, sorry, I'm getting some breaks in there. Then we're starting to show up for ourselves, right? So we know it takes about 90 days for the body to change. So if you're not starting to get the results that you wanted to get right now in your health, I want to ask you to look back 60 to 90 days ago. What habits were you instituting? What have you changed? Or did you just set a goal without a blueprint and without, steps in order to get that to happen? Because the truth is if you don't create a plan behind what you want to change, then it really doesn't get to change. It's just kind of like you're throwing an idea out there. If you're really sick and you have chronic disease or diabetes or something in that avenue, have you had your labs run over the last 60 to 90 days? Do you know what your numbers are? Do you know what number that you want to hit? Those who analyze and do really well with numbers and need to see targets and goals, like their numbers are changing, they're going down or they're coming up. If we want vitamin D to come up to a normal level, you want blood sugars to come down. I don't know what your labs are that you're looking for. Maybe you had a gut test. Did you rid your body of infection? Are you absorbing your food better? Like, are you getting energy from your food? Like, I'm throwing ideas out there so that you can hear my voice and start to think about and say to me, like, Dr. Donahue, this is my goal. This is where I want to go, but I didn't get there. And figure out why. Were you in the drift? Were you just thinking, oh, like, this is just going to happen and I'm going to make it happen. And it's just like, poof, like life doesn't happen that way. I want to ask you, how many of you just wake up and let life like take its energy? You get up, you take a shower, maybe you work out, you have breakfast with your family, and then you get in your car and you just unconsciously drive to work, or you work from home, you unconsciously just sit down and then you start reading your emails, and emails to me are somebody else's agenda. And boy, before you know it, it's like noontime. And you never once did one thing for yourself except maybe move your body and eat. And maybe you didn't even do that. Maybe you just drank coffee or tea and you started your day. So how can you show up in self-care for yourself? Because if you're not progressing and setting up a calendar for your life, then your life will just go by. I remember on Sunday, I was sitting down and I had things that I was planning, and I typically don't work on a Sunday, but we had an amazing summit yesterday, and I was just making sure that everything was kind of in play. And why was I doing that? Because when my mind is free of that, then I can live my life. When my mind is in completion mode, is what I call it, and I feel like everything's complete and I have 48 hours and there's nothing more that I need to do, then I get to focus on myself. So, where are you showing up for yourself with your health goals? Can you cut out those activities and rituals that are not getting you there? Or do you need to institute activities? Do you need to institute, like, if you're trying to get more connected to your internal way of being, which we talked about yesterday as well, and more connecting to your heart and getting more into a flow state than a state that this world is just going to like take you around. You're going to pick up your phone. And when patients tell me like, I don't have time, I ask them, how much time are they spending on their phone? How much time are you scrolling social media? How much time are you spending on email? That's not your work. Like, where is your time going? Because I know until I instituted a calendar for my health and food prep on Sundays and ways to like get out of my body and get into my heart and really connect with myself, I was not getting the results I wanted to get. And the other key was, as well as I brought on a naturopath, which saved my life, which is why I'm here supporting each and every one of you. Because the truth is, on Valentine's Day right now, and I could be connecting to those that I truly love, but I'm showing up to support you guys because in my heart, I want you to be successful. And health isn't just about like my numbers are off. Like, I don't want you to wait until there's an emergency. That's what I called a consequence. You now have eaten whatever you wanted, not planned or not eaten enough. Most people don't eat enough. You haven't gotten enough protein. You haven't gotten enough healthy fats for your body. And all of a sudden, now you're in a healthcare crisis. I don't want that to be you. That is now happening to a friend of mine that I talked to about it 10 years ago. Don't let that be you. What sort of steps can you put into your life right now that are going to start giving you the results you need? You can't just stop sugar cold turkey. Well, you can, but it's probably not going to work. Maybe you move to foods that are lower on the glycemic scale. Maybe you're used to eating like something that has 30 grams of sugar in it, like even if it's a protein bar, maybe you're having a brownie or ice cream. I don't know what it is. And maybe start eating like berries, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. You're still getting some sugar and sweetness in the berry, but it's not spiking your sugar like you would if you were eating a Reese's peanut butter cup or like all the candy that's probably going to be around you today. Like, think about what can you do right now? Do you need to make an appointment with your practitioner so you know where you are? Are you in so much pain that you're going to change what you're doing? Because honestly, when patients finally come in here, they've been in pain for about 5 to 7 years. Why? It would have been easier to help support them 4.5 years ago. So I'm going to ask you as I close this live, I'm going to ask you, think back on the last 60 to 90 days in your life. What were you doing? Who were you being? Were you going through life unconsciously? Were you showing up for yourself? Did you have a plan to change your pain, to change your depression or anxiety, or I don't know what your challenge is. Were you not sleeping well? Do you get to go to bed earlier? These patterns have been in your life a long time. And in our life, we want to live comfortable. I don't want to live comfortable. I want to take myself out of the comfort zone. And when I start to get comfortable, I'm like, what am I doing? I start talking to myself. What could raise my heart rate? What could make me feel nervous? How could I step into a truer version of myself? Because our ego pulls us back. And so do those people around us. We talked about this on the summit yesterday. You can't do that. You're never going to lose weight. You've been on every single diet plan. What are you doing? Another diet? No. You're planning your life. And I know from doing this for years, personally, 30 plus years, and professionally, that success leaves clues. That when you're successful and you're feeling good, you're aware of that. You know what that is. But maybe you disregard it because you want to go out and have that glass of wine with friends. Like, why are we doing all or nothing in our health? Because health is something that we step into every single day. We get to live an abundant, full, flowing, and joyful life. But to do that, we need to get real with ourselves. I have to do it as well. I ask myself every day, who do I get to be today? What does my body need? I show up. I support. I want you all to heal. But I'm aware of how I'm feeling and who I'm being. Not always. I'm not perfect. I drove to work unconsciously today and I was like, whoa, that like 30-minute drive went fast. So where are you being unconscious? Or are you just grabbing food? Because I do that too. But I catch myself because I'm aware of it now. Think about what we talked about today. Really step back into the last 60 to 90 days. Look at what you did, how you showed up. Because if you're not progressing, there's something that is leaving clues. And you get to figure that out for yourself. And you get to 100% step in. And if I can support with accountability, I'm here. because I get to see more people heal in our world. That's my vision. I help leaders like yourself leading your life. So many people are like, Dr. Donahue, I'm not a leader. You are a leader. You're leading your life every single day. I created this amazing membership, Pocket Doc. Reach out. Today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the first live that I'm going to go live. I teach on a subject, and then you have time to ask me questions. I don't diagnose or treat or heal, but I guide you. Maybe you have questions on who you should go to. Maybe you have questions on maybe what labs would make sense. I'm here to support you. So I'm going live today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If this is you and you need support throughout this year, join us. Join pocketdoc.com. I put it in the comments. Again, join pocketdoc.com. Let me know. Get onto one of my channels and let me know, what are you struggling with? How can I support you? Because this truly helps me guide you in where you're stuck. You don't have to be stuck on your health journey. All right, happy Valentine's Day. So much love to each and every one of you. Go at today in a different positive light and just see what comes up for you. And really reflect back on that 69 days. If you want to do it in your mind, go out and take a walk and ask questions, take out a journal. We all work differently. Have an amazing day and take time to love and have self-care for yourself. We'll see you soon. Have an amazing Valentine's Day. So much love.